Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be doing an easy everyday fall makeup look. I am so excited for fall, especially when it comes to makeup. I feel like fall makeup is when all of us makeup lovers can really shine, you know what I mean? And even though this is going to be an everyday inspired look, there's going to be elements that have a little more makeup than, say, a typical everyday look for me, because that's just what I like to do in the fall. So let's jump right in. I'm picturing like a monochromatic beige look. I've got a lip combo that I've been wearing quite a bit lately that I think is just going to be absolutely perfect for this type of a vibe. It's a little bit more than like my usual everyday look, but again, very simple, very easy, and very monochromatic and slightly smoky but muted. Okay, let's get into things. Starting off with skin prep, of course. I'm gonna be using my RAVIE Beauty Signature Skin Dream Barrier Cream. This is our newest launch at RAVIE Beauty, and it is my holy grail face cream, you guys. It is so fabulous, and especially for fall and moving into winter, this is going to save your skin because it is so deeply hydrating. However, it's not greasy, and it was formulated and designed to work well underneath makeup. I also love applying it across my lips before going in with my lip renewal treatment oil, which I'll do next. Oh, I love this cream so much. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and prep the lips. The last thing we need is dry lips or dry skin in the fall, okay? Now that we've got that on, we're gonna go into foundation today. And I was really trying to figure out like what kind of foundation I wanted to wear for this look. And I decided to go with a classic. This is one of my holy grail foundations. This is the Light Reflecting Foundation from NARS. I feel like this is such a foolproof foundation for me personally, and I love how it wears. It's also one that's not too glowy, not too matte. It's one that works well for every day, but also you can amp it up for more glam looks, which is why I felt like for an everyday fall look, this would be perfect. Because it does feel a little bit more glamorous than like a tinted moisturizer, but it still looks natural enough and has a natural enough finish to be great for every day. And again, it wears really well on me. It's genuinely one of my favorites. I love when there's a foundation that kind of does everything, to where if you're gonna spend money on a more high-end foundation, it's nice to know that you can use it on an everyday basis or bump up the coverage, and it's gonna work really well for more glamorous occasions as well. You don't have to like have two separate foundations. You can genuinely wear this one every day. At least that's what I like to do. I'm just pressing everything in with my sponge. This one is from Amazon. I'll have it linked down below. Next, we're gonna sculpt the face. I wanted to use my Too Faced cream bronzer. This is actually their lightest shade. This is called Milk Chocolate. They launched this a little bit later, but it's perfect if you have more fair to light skin tones. And for fall makeup, I like to have a little bit of a bronziness to my skin, but the reality is I definitely don't have much of a tan. So I want it to look as natural as possible with my current skin tone. So I'm just gonna go in with this on the forehead and underneath the cheeks. And you can see how it does sculpt the skin, but it's not too deep, which I love. So I get that structure that I love from a cream contour, but it's not too orangey, which I also love. I'm gonna take that along the jawline as well. Oh, wearing a sweater makes me feel so happy. I also sprayed one of my favorite fall perfumes to get in the mood before filming. I'm wearing the Replica by the Fireplace. It's one of my favorites for fall. And so I am really in the mood for a good fall makeup look right now. Okay, now that we've kind of got that mapped out all over the face, which by the way, I applied that with the BK Beauty 109 brush. This is one of my all-time favorites. Next, I'm gonna go in with a NARS concealer. I figured since I was using the NARS foundation, we might as well go into a classic concealer. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. It's been around for years for a reason. I'm using the shade Vanilla, and I'm going to apply this down the center of the face. I also like to bring this concealer, especially after bronzer or contour, down the sides of the nose just for a little more of a sculpted look, and also underneath the jawline to further sculpt out that bronzer. Something like that. I'm gonna blend that out with my BK Beauty A506 brush and just kind of like pat that into the skin until it's nice and blended. Taking what's left and applying it on the eyelid as well. And then I'm just gonna go in and press everything down into the skin again with my beauty sponge. One of the main products that inspired this look was this blush. I wanted to use a proper kind of like beigey pink blush for this look. This is from Makeup by Mario. It's the Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil in the shade Barely Blushing. I just wanted like, yeah, a barely there blush. So I'm gonna apply this before we powder higher up on the cheeks. And it's just a nice nudie pink. Very soft, very subtle. I love the finish of these blushes. I've been using them like crazy lately. But you can see it's like a no blush blush. But it's also not like a bronzer. It's just somewhere in between where you've got a little soft color on the cheeks, but I want the focal point to be mostly like the eyes and the lips. So I felt like this blush would be perfect for this look. I also have been loving like berries for fall for blush, but for an everyday routine, I felt like just a good monochromatic beige moment would be kind of fun. So now we're gonna go into powder. I'm also gonna go into another Mario product. This is the setting powder. I'm gonna pick that up on my Nikki LaRose N14 brush. And I'm gonna start setting the under eye area with this first. I'm gonna use a little more powder than what maybe I usually do for an everyday look, just because I want that extra flawless finish. I just like things to be like slightly more glam on an everyday basis for fall. I'm just going to continue to press that underneath the eyes. I'm going to put a bit on the eyelids and through the brows as well so that my brow pencil adheres well to my brow area. I'm also going to take a little bit more powder on a fluffier brush and just kind of stamp that on the outsides of the face because I am actually going to use a powder bronzer as well, just to slightly warm things up a little bit more. I was inspired by the Too Faced cream bronzer and wanted to pull out one of my old favorites. This is the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I wanted to just add a little bit more warmth, but this color is another one that's so great for fair skin tones. This is in the shade Milk Chocolate, which is their lightest shade, and it has a slight like olive undertone to it, which I really love. So it gives that warmth, but again, it's not too orangey, which I really appreciate. I'm also going to kind of buff that into the eye socket and through the brows a little. I love to also make sure that my bronzer goes into my hairline pretty well. And of course we'll take it along the jawline a little and slightly down the neck. I'm trying not to get too much makeup on my turtleneck here. Okay. Next, let's fill in the brows. I'm of course going to take my Holy Grail brow pencil, the RAVIE Beauty Easy Everyday Brow Pencil, and I wear the shade Dark Brown, and I'm just going to fill in the brows really quickly using this. Okay, now that the brows are filled in, we're going to do a really easy look on the eyes. I was picturing just like soft matte beige with like good old mascara. So I'm going to go into the Lisa Eldridge liquid eyeshadow in the shade Irene. This is such a pretty kind of like soft brown color, but again, not too like deep to where I wouldn't want to use it on an everyday basis, but also not too light to where it doesn't give like a slight bit edge and a bit more glamour to an everyday look. I'm just taking my brush and really buffing this out on the eyelid. I'm also going to take that same color and go along that lower lash line. I love a smoked out lower lash line, so I wanted to take advantage of that for even an everyday look. I just think this color is so pretty. I'm taking what's left on the concealer brush and just kind of going around the edges to make sure it's like blended and still has a bit of shape to it. Next, I want to kind of like bring a little bit more smokiness to the lash line area. So I'm going to take one of my favorite palettes ever, especially for everyday. This is the Makeup by Mario Master Matte Neutrals palette. And I want to take something that's a little bit more cool toned. So I'm going to go into this color. And I'm going to start kind of layering that close to the lash line. And then I'm just going to like smoke it up a little bit. So that way, you know, it has a little bit more dimension than just a single shadow. But to me, it's still not like over the top to where it can't be considered every day. I'm also going to take a smaller brush with that same exact color. And we're going to go along the lower lash line with this. Like that. Okay, now this is where I thought it would be really fun to add a brown mascara. I grabbed this one that's actually a berry brown from Thrive Cosmetics. It's in the shade Elena. If you're following along, you could totally use whatever brown you've got, but this one has like a little bit of a berry to it, which I thought would be really cool and interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to both the top and bottom lashes. And I just felt like this would bring a little bit of a cooler twist to a typical everyday look. Feels a little different while still being very wearable, right? This is such a nice color. I really, really love that hint of berry in there. Because a lot of times brown mascaras are super warm to where it's almost like an orange brown, which is fine. But for me and my skin tone and undertone, I prefer when things have a little bit more of like a neutral, leaning cool undertone for me. I just find that it's the most flattering. This is the prettiest mascara color. Carissa Bodnar is the founder of Thrive Cosmetics. She's the sweetest. And this is such gorgeous color. Why did I not try this earlier? I'm kind of kicking myself for not trying this sooner. That is so pretty. So pretty. Oh, I love it. All right, now onto lips, and then we can kind of see if we want a little more blush or not. I'm just gonna wipe off any foundation that got on the lips. One of my personal current favorite combos, and it's just perfect for fall, I feel, is my favorite lip liner. This is the RAVIE Beauty Soft Definition Longwear Lip Liner in the shade Almond. Almond is literally perfect for every day for fall. It just like sculpts the lips. But this shade is more cool tone, but it is kind of like a neutral cool. So I'm just lining the lips with that. It matches the eyes perfectly. And then I've been pairing it with Effortless Lips in the shade Lily like crazy. And I just feel like this is the best little fall everyday combo because again, it adds a little more structure with the almond lip liner. But then when you add Lily on top, which is just the most beautiful soft nude color, it feels very everyday still to me. Oh, so pretty. I do feel like we need more blush. I might cheat a little bit and add just a smidge of Paradise, which is my RAVIE Beauty Baked Blush. This does have a little more pink than what Mario one has, but now that I've got like that berry mascara on, I feel like it will complement things really well. This is still like a no blush type of a color. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, now we're going to assess the situation and add just a little more bronzer with what's on the brush. And then we're going to set the face. I love this Powder Melt Glass Setting Spray from One Size because it just like makes your skin look so juicy, but it actually makes your makeup wear much better. Paired with Dream Cream, this has been one of my favorite things for like dewy skin without like the grease. Yeah, especially paired with Dream Cream because I feel like this hydrates underneath and this adds glow on top. So like even if you're wearing more powders, it never looks overly powdered when it's sandwiched between those two. You know what else I've been really loving is this One Size Boucle powder. Mine is in the shade Fair. It's a baked powder, and I love to use this after setting spray to just kind of like mattify-ish. It's not a matte powder. It actually has a little bit of glow to it, but it does blur. And so I've been using this like after setting spray just to kind of reinforce the areas that I do get oily throughout the day, which is for me the T-zone. But it kind of creates like an airbrushed finish on top after setting spray. It's such a pretty powder. Okay, now let's set the brows. I'm just gonna use my Benefit 24-hour brow setter just to lock everything in place. Okay, just gonna take the hair down now. Oh my goodness. This is exactly what I was hoping for. For me, this feels very perfectly every day for fall. It's definitely a little more amped up, sculpted, and glam than other seasons. But again, I love a little more makeup in the fall. I love that mascara color so much. I feel like this could be paired with literally any sweater, any denim jacket. Like if you had like a barn jacket, it would be such a good makeup look. This is gonna literally match any sort of outfit, especially sweaters. I feel like it just has a little bit of a coziness to it as well. I love how it turned out. This is what you will be seeing me in every day this fall, and I hope you guys love this look as much as I do. You know what else would be so cute with a makeup look like this is like either a beanie or Sometimes I even like to wear more makeup with like a baseball cap in the fall. I don't know. I just feel like there's something about fall that allows me to like mix more glam with casual situations, and I just love it. But anyways, this makeup look would also work well if you wanted to wear a beanie or something. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. Let me know in the comments down below what your vibe is this fall when it comes to makeup. What kind of products are you wearing? What's your go-to everyday look right now? I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. If you want to check out any of the products that I used today, I will have them listed and linked in the description box for you down below as well. This makes me so happy. I love this look, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and then after you subscribe, click on the notification bell so you'll get notified every single time I upload a video. That's it from me today, you guys. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!